Mason, listen to this, right? If he doesn't win Champions League, which is possible, doesn't win the FA Cup, and say we don't get top 4, is he gone? That's how how it can change.
I don't think he goes, and this is the reason why. Look at where we were.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's changed it
now. Thin line,
now.
though, isn't it? Thin line between success and failure.
It's crazy. Yeah. Hello there, guys. It's Ben here from SW6 Lions TV. I hope you're all well. We've got the return of Mason. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you, mate. I'm good. We got a special guest today. We got Lee Judges. How are you, Lee?
Yeah, I'm all right. Not too bad. Not as good as you boys, though. I have to say, like, you know what I mean?
We're on top of the world at the moment. Absolutely top of the world.
Chirpy Chelsea at the moment, isn't it? So,
guys, remember, like, subscribe, comment, SW6 across all platforms. They really, really appreciate it. And let's go on with the video.
Yeah, so Lee, I've got a question for you. You beat us on Boxing Day under Frank, and you were like pretty decent that day, to be fair.
Yeah,
honestly,
done you a favour, didn't we?
Yeah, you did. But what's happened? Like pretty much middle of the Premier League table, obviously knocked out the Europa League with a whimper. Like, is this even like a big game for you lot now?
Listen, Arsenal, Chelsea, Arsenal, always good games, you know, to go to and be a part of. But this one means nothing to us.
Yeah.
And probably the same for you. It's probably a hindrance to both of us. I think when you look at it from your point of view, you know, you've got 4 days before a cup final. You don't really want that. But so there's nothing on it. You know, nothing can. You know, I think with you guys, you virtually guaranteed yourselves Champions League football with that winner.
We need 2 more wins. 2 more wins.
2 more to guarantee it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's without anybody else slipping up, like, yeah. So, you know, and what are your thoughts? What are the games you got? You got obviously Arsenal,
Aston Villa, Leicester.
Leicester, and who's the last game? I can't even think what the last game is actually.
I'm pretty sure Aston Villa's the last game.
That's the one about cup finals, isn't it? So about So at the end of it, I think you're virtually there. But obviously, like, you like to get over that line, I suppose, a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
But you know, from our point of view, like for Wednesday, I'm just hoping you've got one eye on the cup final a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So no one wants to get injured before the cup final, do they? Like, he may decide to rest a few. And obviously, like, let's kick a few of you up in the air, see if you can try and get a couple of them off, and you know that they, you know, would miss the cup final. So listen, we've all played football. You're always a little bit, you know, want to play in cup final. So you know, and I think it was it Christian who got injured, and you know, so injuries can happen, and unfortunately, you know, he's going to miss probably the both cup finals now. So. There will be that in the back of your minds for a few of your players. So, you know, we go there with a chance, but realistically, you know, I love going to Stamford Bridge. You know, we don't really do that well there, but there's a great atmosphere. It's one of the old school grounds now because like most of them are gone.
Yeah.
But you know, there's probably, like, for me, I don't really care about this game. Like, you know, I'm going to be honest, as an Arsenal fan, like last Thursday knocked the stuffing out of me, if I'll be honest.
Yeah.
That was horrible for you, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was not going out. I don't, like, you know, you say, listen, you can, there's ways to win games, and there's also ways to lose games, and go out with all guns blazing and whatever, like, you know, but we just went out not really giving it a go. And you know, it was a tough take, I have to say.
We've just got the news that we're going to introduce safe standing in 2 parts of the stadium. So
right.
Yeah, I think that's decent.
Yeah, it's great.
But then that leaves us with like 500 seats, like, that obviously that have been taken out. So it's like lowered the capacity apparently, but it's quite good news. I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, that's interesting. If that's going to happen, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So so well done, Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly. Mason,
I suppose if you're taking 500 out, you're not going to get 500 standing. I don't understand that, but you know,
I don't quite.
Yeah, no, I don't understand that.
Don't quite get how that's happening, but they've said that it's going to minus the capacity to get a ticket. So I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that's strange. You know what I mean? I thought that would add to the capacity. I'll tell you what they do, give it a bit more atmosphere.
Oh yeah, that's what we need as well.
Yeah.
Against the smaller teams, like the atmosphere is dead.
Yeah.
But obviously, the big teams, like the atmosphere is always rocking at Stamford Bridge. To be fair.
Yeah.
But,
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mason. If we win the FA Cup and the Champions League this year, do you think we start getting seen as the bigger club?
Lee, you're not going to like this one. Yeah, I think so. I think 2 Champions League trophies is huge. Another FA Cup in the bag. I know Arsenal have got a lot of FA Cups. But you got to think 2 European trophies. How massive is that?
Yeah, it's big.
In your eyes, how do you see it?
I'm coming straight in.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest are a bigger club than Chelsea.
No, but then you've got to think when they've won it. You've got to think how long ago they've won it. 21st century football now. No. 21st century football now. You got to think. We're talking about the now, not talking about the past.
Listen,
with
doesn't
Arsenal,
matter how many trophies. Doesn't matter how many trophies Arsenal win or Chelsea win. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
They'll never be bigger than Man United. Man United are the biggest. Liverpool and Arsenal, and then unfortunately, maybe Chelsea. But as far as a winning club's concerned, I don't think there's any argument. You know what I mean? Chelsea are right up there now, like, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I guys, you know what I mean? I've been to Chelsea when they've been, no one there at times, you know what I mean? Like, and I've seen some dark days for Chelsea, which you guys have not seen. But I think that since Abramovich has come in, you can't knock what Chelsea have done. Chelsea have, I think it was a time, I mean, we used to beat Chelsea. And this, it's a sad thing to say we all the time, like, do you know what I mean? Realistically, can you believe that? But nowadays it's the other way around. And Chelsea have, it's like Manchester City. That Manchester City have done fantastically well, and they're never going to be as big as Man United. Never, not in my eyes, they're not going to be. And it don't matter how many trophies they win. Huh?
Do you think, like, say we go 20 years on? Do you think, like?
Well, in 20 years' time, listen, you're going to this moment in time. Do you know what's happening now is that you've got kids growing up that would follow Chelsea because of the success that you're having now. Do you know what I mean? And Manchester City will have the same. So if Arsenal and Manchester United, Tottenham, you can bring into that equation as well. Then don't up their game. Then in 20 years' time, the fan base, because I think there's 2 things about big clubs. You've got trophies and also the fan base. And the fan base probably at Arsenal and Spurs is still probably bigger than Chelsea. But if you continue to win things, you're going to have kids now at school going, do you know what? I quite like, Chelsea's players and whatever. Like, and if I was an Arsenal fan, if I was a kid now, I don't think, there ain't no one at Arsenal would excite me to say, oh, I want to be an Arsenal fan. If I'll be honest,
how does that make you feel, though, Lee?
Well, very, very depressed because do you know what Arsenal like, and if you get the older Chelsea fans as well. Now I'm going back to when Chelsea were, when I was growing up. You had players like Peter Osgood, Peter Britton played for Chelsea, Mickey Droy. You know what I mean? Like just that sort of era of players. Yeah. You could pin your hat to one of them and think, oh yeah, he was a great player. Like when I first started going to Arsenal weren't the best team in the world, but there was Liam Brady, Graham Ricks, Frank Stapleton. They were quality players. Now I look at the current Arsenal side. There ain't no one else, like Saka maybe, but no one in that sort of league. You know what I mean? Now, 10, 20 years ago, you had kids growing up to Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Chelsea 5, 10 years ago, growing up to the Drogbas of this world, Frank Lampard. So Chelsea are continuing this trend. They will catch that younger generation now, definitely. You know what I mean? So if Arsenal don't buck their ideas up, they're going to miss out on that generation. You know, because also, which was a big thing for me supporting Arsenal was Highbury. Going to Highbury when I was younger. Now, you guys, you would have seen the photos what Chelsea was like back in the day of you know what I mean. It was like you know, the running. It was not, you know, Chelsea's completely different now. So yeah, you know, I think that if Arsenal don't get their act together, you know, and the same with Spurs. You know, it's all right, Spurs having a massive stadium now, but a lot of that ain't hardcore fans going to be going there. That's going to be a lot of...
it's more of a tourist place, really, isn't it?
Exactly. So, you know, you're losing the identity of the clubs a little bit. And I think Arsenal, if I'll be honest, have lost their identity a little bit over the last 10 years. It's really since the Emirates, I think, going to the Emirates, they've lost the identity of what a big club is, if you know what I mean, where the likes of Chelsea and Manchester City now have come into that equation, definitely come into the equation without a doubt. And serial winners.
Yeah.
You know, Chelsea and Manchester City, like, you know, where it used to be Arsenal, Manchester United game head to head, and they were great. So over the next few years, I see it being Chelsea and Manchester City, if I'll be honest, because Chelsea will spend the money and so will bloody Manchester City. And I don't care what anybody says. People say about money. Why are Chelsea and Manchester City winning all the trophies at the moment? Because they are the most invested. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple. It's still got to be managed properly and everything like that. But
you get out what you put in, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day.
You still got to manage it properly. You still got to do it right. But I look back at this season, the mentality of Arsenal and the mentality of Chelsea. If you want to go on mentality, there's, you know, you're talking different leagues, because we was on the same points after that. After we beat you 3-0, we was, I think, on 1 point or on the same points as Chelsea. Chelsea changed their manager. Whether you think it's right or whether you think it's wrong, that's what they've done, because they've got ambition, and then wherever Frank was taking them wasn't where Chelsea wanted to go. And look what's happened since.
Lee, I've just got a question for you quick, actually. Obviously, we used to have a younger manager in Frank Lampard. You have Arteta. Do you think that's where you're going wrong at the moment in the managerial role? You just touched on so important to have a good manager.
Because I've just been on another podcast, you know, like same old Arsenal one. We've just been talking about that.
Yeah.
Three clubs that have got inexperienced managers: Arsenal, Chelsea, and Juventus. Right? Because they put Pirlo in at the first
time. Back then. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And Arsenal were crap, right down the middle of the table. Juventus look like they're not going to get Champions League football.
Yeah, right? That's crazy.
You know? And Chelsea weren't probably going to get. Well, without being harsh, I don't think you'd have got Champions League football, Champions League final, and FA Cup with Frank Lampard.
No, I completely agree with that.
So what's happened is you got rid of your manager, brought in the new one. Look where you are. Look where Arsenal and Juventus are by not doing the same thing. And so you'd have to turn around and say, fair play to Chelsea, because ruthlessness has got you where you have done today. Because at the end of the day, he hasn't had a transfer window. It's the same players.
No.
It's the same players, but obviously he's getting a better tune out of these players than what Arteta is, and even like, you know, Pirlo at Juventus. So it's you know, people turn around and say, yeah, it's about players. Yes, of course it's about players, but it's also about being managed properly and organised properly. And the proof's in the pudding. What happened with Chelsea? Now, I know that you guys, and there was a lot of people that I know, Chelsea fans, weren't happy with Frank Lampard being sacked. I bet not one of you saying that now. No. Not one of you saying that.
We look back now, you say it's definitely the right decision.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, so when people turn around at me, should Arteta be at Arsenal? And it's got nothing to do with Chelsea. When people go, but Chelsea are ruthless and this and that, forget about Chelsea's ruthlessness. It's about Chelsea, same players, right? It doesn't matter how much that they've spent. The same players were 10th in the league under Frank Lampard. The same players are now in a Champions League final, FA Cup, and virtually guaranteed top 4. So it is a lot to do with the manager. So when people say about Arteta now, sorry, not good enough. Not good enough.
Who would you get this out there? Because I can't think of you're going on about Allegri, aren't you, a lot?
Oh, look, I'd go Allegri. Brendan Rodgers would be another one that I would look at. If I'll be honest, I would take Rafa Benitez for a season.
Really?
There's talk of Pochettino being sacked, isn't there, from PSG
already?
Yeah, talk of Pochettino being sacked by the end of the season.
He won't go Arsenal, will he?
I will take him because he's got experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would be another one that I would look at. So there's 3, 4 off the bat already.
What's your expectation with, like, if he comes in for next season, what would you aim for? Top 4?
Well, yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't mean to say that we're going to get it, because if you look at
players, do you think they're good enough for that, or do you think?
Listen, I don't know if they're good enough for that, but they're certainly better than 10th. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, look at West Ham. You know what I mean? You're telling me that West Ham players are better than Arsenal players, but look at them. They're organised. They're in a system. They know exactly what they've got to do. Why? Because they're being coached properly by an experienced manager. Would I want David Moyes as manager? Probably not. But what I'm saying is he's got experience. He knows how to manage teams and knows what he's doing. We've got a novice in at the moment that hasn't got a clue. Hasn't got a clue.
I really feel like you do need an experienced manager, because you look at people like Smith Rowe, Saka, players like this, and they need that experienced manager. Yeah. You got such young players, quite a young squad. Really, look at Gabriel. You've got quite a young squad. You need an experienced manager to bring these players up, and that's just not what you're getting at the moment. This is why you're underachieving, and it's not going right.
Exactly, and the thing is with look at Thursday's game. It looked like we played those 2 games where it was too much for the players. Now, what you have is a manager, a coach, an experienced coach comes in, and he takes all that pressure away from the players and puts it all onto himself or whatever. And you go out there and perform. Whether you liked him or not, Mourinho would put it all on him. A stage, Arsene Wenger used to do it, and you'd go and perform. And I look at, a lot of managers like Scott Parker at the moment, struggling because he's not quite experienced enough, not, the Premier League or whatever, and I don't care what anybody says, experience is a big thing, but Arteta has made a lot of mistakes which an inexperienced manager shouldn't make anyway. You know what I mean?
Substitutions.
Substitutions. They ain't got nothing to do with it.
I was even against Villarreal. I thought, what is he doing? Taking a Aubameyang off?
Exactly. When you need a goal, and then bringing it on for Willian. You know what I mean?
Honestly, it baffles me. Some of these substitutions baffles me at times. Yeah.
So they're all those sort of things. You know what I mean? Now there was decisions that Frank Lampard was doing, it was baffling you guys. And we was all going, well, carry on doing that, Frank. You know what I mean? The performance that he produced against Arsenal were, I tell you what, our Arsenal on that game on Boxing Day were relegation fodder. We was really in woeful form. He come there that day, and we just, and that told you a lot, But it's not the first time that you've come to the Emirates and been stuffed. No. And then sorted it out. I remember a few seasons ago,
3-0, wasn't it?
Conte changed his systems, and you went on to win the bloody league. So every time you can thank Arsenal for we give you we actually, I think at the end of the day that result was Frank Lampard's.
Yeah,
that was the defining moment for him. I felt that was when the owners thought, right, no, he's not for us.
As soon as we lost to Leicester as well, that was it.
Yeah, there's always a defining moment, and I think if you'd have beaten ours, listen, the season before I think under Frank, you know, got great results against Spurs, got the top four because that was the remit, getting to the top four. He done that, but then once you've done that last season, that money was coming in. It was then going up again, and he just
the pressure's out.
Yeah,
you got to think that first season Frank Lampard had no transfer ban, can't get any transfers in, and the pressure was off.
Yeah,
the pressure was off.
He still had to get to the top four, which he did. But
yeah, exactly.
But ultimately,
but as soon as that pressure's on,
the pressure was thrown on him this season, and the inexperience, if you want to, let's be kind to him, the inexperience of that failed him a little bit, like, you know, and that's no. I think Frank Lampard could still be a Chelsea manager in 5 years' time. It just come too soon for him, and I do believe that with Mikel Arteta as well. I think he could be a very, very good coach, but not for Arsenal at this moment in time. But how can you turn down a job like Chelsea or Arsenal?
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's a difficult one, you know?
There was
very difficult.
With Lampard that he was like, was it Rudiger and Kepa, wasn't it, Mason? That he just didn't talk. He just left.
Well, exactly. Look at that Rudiger. He's being left out. So I think if my mind's correct, there was virtually went out on loan at the beginning of the season, and now he's.
They were talking about him going to Spurs. Yeah. Went out on loan.
And then look at him now. Look at him. He bossed it against Real Madrid.
Well,
you know what I mean?
This is what I'm saying.
Fantastic. And you know, Zuma was being preferred to him. And you know what I mean? Nothing against Zuma, but all of a sudden, you know, you look at him now and you're thinking, my words, you know what I mean? How come Zuma was getting in front of him? Poor managing. You have to say it.
But Lee, every time I look at the team sheet, I'm like, what's he doing? But then they all performed for him. Like, because obviously we judge them what they did under Lampard, and we're like, Jorginho, crap. Rudiger's crap. Christensen's crap, because they didn't perform under him. And then with him, they seem to be doing everything right. They know what they're doing.
You know what? You know what is when I changed my mind with Tuchel, because I was the same as you. Every week I was like, what is he doing? Like, what lineups he putting out? Against Everton, he put Havertz up front like a false nine, and he just bossed the game. And I was like, this guy knows what he's doing. This guy knows what he's doing.
Honestly, like, I don't know where you guys felt about it, but like, there was a few Chelsea fans weren't too happy about him coming at first. But he's won.
I was fuming.
Yeah, but he's won Chelsea fans over. Why has he won Chelsea fans over? Because you're winning games of football, not rocket science. Not rocket science.
Pep Guardiola said, "There's never a process. It's about winning football games."
Exactly. You know what I mean? That's the process. Win games.
Exactly.
And everybody's happy.
So, Lee, are you like Arteta out now then? Are you like get rid of him before the end of the season, or? No,
that's, you know, like
given the season.
See him to the end of the season and then say thank you very much, you know. But
he's got to be gone.
You know, you name another club, right? You name another club that's got 10th in the league, right? That would keep their manager. I don't think there would be. I think Juventus will sack Pirlo, even though he's a club legend, if they don't get Champions League.
Yeah. Tottenham got rid of.
You've sacked managers that have won doubles for you.
Yeah,
and things like that. Yeah. So, I don't think Manchester City. Do you think if United were 10th, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would be in a job?
No.
Be honest.
He was one game away from being sacked.
Yeah.
Spurs sacked Mourinho because they didn't get what they wanted.
Yeah.
Look at the season where he won the FA Cup, the Champions League with Di Matteo, and he got sacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 games.
So you're saying experience.
And I'll tell you this now: if you won the European Cup this year and the FA Cup, right, and this time next season you're in 10th place,
he'd be gone.
I guarantee he's not there.
No way.
At the end of the next season.
No,
I guarantee it.
If there's a chance, if they know that we ain't going to get top 4, that could be middle of the season, and they think, oh, this is bad, they'll get rid of him.
Yeah, 100%.
They don't care.
100%. We got rid of Emery on a lot less.
Yeah,
he got us to 5th, and we, you know, unfortunately lost to you guys in the final. But you know, he was 2 games away from winning, getting what we wanted, Champions League football. Stupid team selections against Crystal Palace at home cost us, and we didn't turn up for a cup final. So
was that back
ultimately, that cost him his job. So how can this one, you know, I mean, stay in a job? You know, it's not about Arteta in or out, like, you know what I mean? It's not about Arteta in or out. The lot, and anyway, that's an old score, the old European. The last cup final. Let's talk about the last cup.
The 4-1 we talking about.
No, the 2-1 when we beat you in the last cup final. Like, so, but ultimately, you know. It's not about being Mikel in or out. He's not done his job, you know, and that's the end of it. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
Whether I like him or not,
I think Emery. What did he come 5th?
He come 5th, yeah.
The year he sacked him.
Yeah, sacked him, yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought he'd done worse.
Got to go.
Well, they didn't actually sack him then. They did keep him on to the next season, and I think where we are now. And they said, no, that's not good enough. But ultimately, you know, he'd lost it after that Crystal Palace game.
Yeah.
But because what happened was, going into the final with you guys, you had Champions League football guaranteed. Pressure off a little bit. Like we had it all riding on us. We should have, if we'd have gone in with both having Champions League football, who knows? But ultimately, we didn't turn up for that.
Could have won it by a few more.
So Lee, what's your Mason? We'll go Mason first. Actually, what's your thoughts on Wednesday? What do you think?
To be honest,
I think it's going to be a tough game.
Like we've said, it's a nothing kind of game. Do you know what I mean? It's a.
I've never known.
We've got Leicester. We've got Leicester on the weekend. I'm not massively thinking about it, but I think it's going to be a tough game. I do think it's going to be a tough game. I think we'll still turn up, but I think Arsenal will also turn up. But I can't see anyone beating us at the moment. I just can't see anyone beating us at the moment. I just feel like we do look so strong.
Yeah, we do.
I just can't see anyone beating us at this point.
Lee, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, listen, I totally agree with what Mason's saying here. But the only thing that I will say that gives us a little bit of hope is that FA Cup final in 4 days' time. If it wasn't for that and it was another league, say you got a league game at the weekend, Chelsea all day long. But I just feel that maybe, you know, if Arsenal put a few tackles in or something like that, I'm not saying go around kicking people and all that, but you know what I mean? Just put it about a little bit. Just think, I don't want to get injured for the final. But a few guys maybe having one eye on the final. Because I don't care what anybody says, the FA Cup's still massive, you know what I mean? Like, you lost it last season, so Chelsea will want to win it this season. So, I don't know who they lost to, I can't remember. But anyway, that's another story.
I can't remember. I think they're 10th this year, aren't they?
But some rubbish team from North London. But ultimately, you know, they want to win that, you know, and Chelsea being favourites as well. You know, and I tell you what, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but if you were to win that, it takes a little bit of pressure off you going into the Champions League final, because Man City have won a couple of trophies. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to end up with nothing at the end of the season. So I think it's, you know, an important game.
I feel like we are looking at Leicester more than this game.
Mason,
like,
yeah, I think you would be. Yeah, I do that, and that's why I think we might have a chance. I'm not saying that we will.
Oh,
you
do have a chance. You do have a chance.
Yeah,
I think you definitely do. Mason, listen to this, right? If he doesn't win Champions League, which is possible, doesn't win the FA Cup, and say we don't get top 4, is he gone? That's how is how it can.
No, I don't think he goes, and this is the reason why. Look at where we were. Yeah, you know what I mean. He's changed it now.
Thin line, though, isn't it? Thin line between success and failure.
It's crazy.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. It is very, very true. It would be a failure of a season if we hadn't won nothing and we lost top 4. It would be.
If it does happen, I'm willing to come back on. Like, you know what I
mean? Like, we've got 3 games left: Leicester, Arsenal, and Aston Villa.
Yeah. Well, if it does happen, then we're never getting Leon again.
He's blocked.
But I just can't.
I can't see it happening like that.
No, it's just silly.
Listen, if you just said to me, Boxing Day, like walking out, you know, like after that game, and you
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
Speak up, mate.
If you, I don't know why that's gone off. If I turned around and said to you, you're going to get to a Champions League final and FA Cup final after that Boxing Day, you'd have laughed at me.
Yeah.
You'd have laughed at me.
Yeah.
But you're in the final, and I'll tell you what. Also, you've got a chance. I think you've got something over. Deserve to beat Man City in the semi-final.
Yeah.
I think you got something over him a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know about if you deserved it on Saturday. I didn't see the game. But you've gone over there, turned them over again.
Yeah.
So from my point of view, I'm looking at it from a neutral's point of view. If when you play football, you've played it as well, you guys. You know what I mean? There's a team that you can't bloody beat, even though you know you should be beating.
Yeah.
It can get into your head a little bit, like, you know what I mean? How can we not beat this? How can we not beat this team, like, you know what I mean?
I think we've got that psychological advantage against City because even on the weekend, we rested Mount, Chilwell.
Yeah, and Chilwell got a result.
They did as well.
Big players we rested and we still turned them over. So I'm confident.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting. It'd be an interesting final, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, Mason, score prediction for Wednesday, please.
I am going to go 2-0 Chelsea.
Oh, what about you, Lee?
I'm going to go 2-1 the Arsenal. The only reason I'm going that is Art ruling head. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, no other thing.
You always have to back your team.
And listen, it wouldn't surprise me if Chelsea win comfortably, but if Arsenal do win and they do win 2-1, you can like that judges is right. We've got one eye on that cup final, like, you know what I mean? So that is
exactly. I'll take your point. I'll take your point.
It's the only reason that I'm saying it, like, you know. So we go from there.
We'll give you that. Lee, cheers for your time, mate. That was amazing.
No problems. We're gonna have my dinner now. Like, I haven't had no dinner yet, like, you know. So.
Oh no,
top man.
Thanks for coming on.
No worries, guys. See you later on, like, yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Good luck in the Champions League final.
Cheers, mate. Hope to have you on again.
You might be there next year. Oh wait, no, you're 10. See you later.
See you later.
See you later, Lee. Cheers, mate.